taking this directly from them. You can't think of kink as like Freaky's big sister. You know what I'm saying? That's the auntie. That's the one that's a little bit.
So my first question for y'all is kink some white people shit? Doc, I'm gonna start with you, of course. I think I know what your answer is, but humor
obviously.
me.
Hell no. I mean, the kinks is kink. Being kinky is a people thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it has anything to do with race or culture, really.
But where do black kinksters go then? Because like in my head, as someone who is not a kinkster, but I'm open to a whole lot of stuff. Like Mufasa was in the clip. When I go to spaces that are for kinksters, I don't see a lot of us.
There aren't always a lot of us, but this summer, I hope you check out Kink Down South and all of the stuff that...
Somebody told me about Kink Down South.
Yeah, it's like a 2 or 3 day festival that they're having this year. And Onyx, the Black Man's Leather organization and Kink organization, always has like parallel parties and like information so that you can go and like see, other black men and black people who are in the kinks.
Do you see kinks as being black people things?
I don't think it's not a race. Like it's not a race on it. It's not.
Okay. So this is the question that we had on the team when we were preparing for this. I think that black people, black men specifically, are open to a whole lot of stuff. We just call it being a freak.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't think that enough of us or many of us take that to the next level of saying we are kinky. Would you agree?
I agree.
Why do you think that is?
Because they just don't have the knowledge about it. Like, there's so many different kinks. It's not just like surface level all the time, but then you have the stuff that's like real common that we're going to see every time we scroll on Twitter, and they just don't know that's a kink. They just calling it, oh, he's real freaky. That's an actual kink.
Yeah.
And y'all just don't know that it falls in that category.
But why do we have to call it a kink for it to be? It feels like we're saying we have to call it something for it to be valid. What if I'm just a freak?
So
what if that is the word that I use?
I feel like it's a little bit of both sides in that, like, you can call things what they are. You know what I'm saying? Kinks are kinks. Fetishes are fetishes. Vanilla sex is vanilla sex. If you know what I'm saying, look at the definitions of those things. But I think why people don't identify with those words is because they feel like, there's still a lot of stigma attached to it. Like you said, a lot of people probably look at it like it's some white people shit, but, people
because they think that black people are nudists.
Yeah.
Like, they don't really feel like black people are nudists. And I don't mind it.
But I think that black men, in my experience, have no problem being nude all the time. I just don't think that we go as far as
in
calling
public spaces,
calling it nudism. Like, you can go to the park any day and see a whole bunch of black folks just out there ass naked. Not that I would know from experience. I would know from experience. You could go see me on a random occasion ass naked at the park, but I wouldn't call it a nudist. I would just call it I'm a freak. And in my head, why can't that just be the black terminology? Why it's like white people might converse, but the girls will conversate, and we know what that means.
Yeah.
Why could white people might be kink, but the girls might be a freak?
Because everything has a title.
Like, it doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to, but I mean, we do everything like that.
Oh, give me another example.
Prime example, like the he, she's, theys, thems, all that other stuff. Why we can't just be people? But then it's he, she's, they, them. Oh, I'm it.
Okay, so I think that I hear you. I hear you. I receive that. But I think the distinction for me is the question that I pose is about culture, about black people, the big
people
idea. But for me individually, like I ain't gonna shit on the fact that you say you are a kinkster. That is your term for you, and I think that that's valid.
Because that's like the culture that he's accustomed to, and he knows better. You know what I'm saying? Like, he actually lives that, so he's not gonna say, "Oh, I'm freaky." Like, he knows what it is. He knows.
Are you freaky though?
I think,
but
see, I think they are synonymous in some level, aren't they?
They are.
They absolutely can be synonymous. But two of your social media people I'm taking this directly from them. You can't think of kink as like Freaky's big sister. You know what I'm saying? That's the auntie. That's the one that's a little bit more grown. You know what I'm saying? She done thought through it a little bit more. It
does feel like Kink is like the rich auntie of the family.
You know what I'm saying? It's
the
not
rich
just,
auntie that knows some shit. She knows her Hermes from her Gucci from her Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, you know, it's not just they proposed this to me. It's you know what I'm saying? This is something that I've thought about. Like I was talking about with the tickle shit. You know, like. So like
keep going.
Yeah. So like
because I want to know about the tickle shit.
Yeah. Like with tickling, right? It's part domination and submission. It's also part like accessing the like childhood play factor. You know what I'm saying? With somebody that you're really into, like all of that kind of goes into it.
I'm noticing
this comment says going to the park ass naked. What park is that, Jay? I'll send you a link
to the
I'll
park.
Send you a link. Oh yeah. There's whole meetup groups.
Oh
yeah.
Okay. You ain't never been to no park?
I would like a link.
I'll send you the link. I'll DM it to you. I'll send you a text message. Okay, so what do you think is the resistance? Because from the clip and from the conversation we had, there is resistance among some of the black girls that we talk to that say kink is not for me, even though they do kink shit. Why do you think there is a resistance? You kind of touched on when you said stigma, but why don't the girls like the word Hemi?
It's the stigma to it. It's like they feel like it's, for some reason, I don't know why people feel like kink stuff is dirty. But it's not.
Oh boy said taboo.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like they feel like if you say that I'm a kinkster, that makes me like less, or like I'm really into like some weird shit, but that's not the case. Like
I think so this is what I received from the conversations that we had, is that like freaky is a catch-all term that I can subscribe to, that we all kind of understand. And I think a lot of people think kinky is also a catch-all term. So if I say I'm kinky, then it means I got to be down for everything, like scat and piss and all the things. Whereas I don't think that's the case in kink cultures, is it?
No, not at all. No, most kinksters have like particular kinks that they're into, and lots of other things that they're not into. So it's the exact opposite.
You have things you're not into?
Yeah, I'm not into scat play. I am not into blood. Yeah, that's probably about it though.
He's like the big ones, the big ones. I'm like, okay, but the irony is like scrolling through Twitter, the second that I see certain things, I'm like, oh damn, you just ruined it.
Yeah.
And the irony is a picture of Beyonce is one of them. I can't stand seeing Beyonce on Twitter. Although I love Beyonce, but the second I see Beyonce or Oprah, my female idols, my sheroes,
well, yeah, you're
dicks
not in
off.
That.